The forest was alive with sunlight and the gentle rustle of leaves as the girl named Lena walked along the narrow trail, her loyal German shepherd Atlas trotting faithfully beside her. She laughed softly, brushing her hair behind her ears as the dog glanced up at her, tail wagging, eyes bright with joy. Every step was carefree, every movement light, the vibrant green canopy above filtering golden rays onto the forest floor. Suddenly, the trail beneath them shifted. Gravel and wet leaves gave way, and in an instant, both Lena and Atlas were tumbling down the steep, high trail. Branches whipped past, leaves rained down, and mud splashed across their faces as they fell into the dense foliage below. Lena hit softly on a thicket, dazed, and her eyes closed as she sank into the undergrowth. Atlas landed awkwardly beside her, scraping a paw and limping slightly, shaking off leaves with a sharp whine. He pressed close to her, sniffing, nudging her gently with his nose and paw, his expressive eyes showing alarm and concern. When she did not respond, Atlas tried to drag her toward a safer patch of ground. He pushed with his shoulders, pawed at the mud, and tugged at her backpack. But the uneven terrain and her unconscious weight made it impossible. Frustrated but determined, he stepped back, took a deep sniff of the air, and limped off, eyes scanning the forest for human help. Through logs, puddles, and streams, Atlas navigated the forest with urgent determination. His paws slipped in the mud, his fur streaked with dirt, yet he pressed on, limping slightly from his own injuries. At last, he spotted a small campsite. A man named Ethan sat near a fire, unaware of the danger unfolding nearby. Atlas sprinted toward him, barking urgently. He jumped, circled, pawed at Ethan's legs, trying with everything he had to make the man understand. At first, Ethan looked puzzled, shaking his head, ignoring the dog's frantic gestures. But Atlas refused to give up. He barked louder, limped closer, stared straight into Ethan's eyes, insisting Ethan follow him. The dog barked again, then turned and ran a few steps, looking back. That's when Ethan noticed the injury. The mud, the desperation. Something was wrong. Without another word, Ethan grabbed his backpack and followed. Together, they ran through the forest, over fallen logs, through slick mud, across shallow streams, Atlas leading the way, glancing back constantly to make sure Ethan was still there. Every second mattered. When they reached Lena, Atlas rushed to her side first. He placed a paw gently on her chest, sniffed her face, and nudged her cheek, watching closely for any sign of movement. Nothing. Ethan dropped to his knees, checked her pulse, and listened carefully to her breathing. She was alive, but barely. Carefully, he lifted her into his arms. As Ethan carried Lena toward the road, Atlas walked beside them, injured, exhausted, yet completely focused on her face, never looking away for even a moment. The forest, once peaceful, now felt like a gauntlet, and Atlas refused to let it win. The forest finally opened near the road. At the hospital entrance, doctors rushed Lena inside on a stretcher. Atlas stopped at the door, exhausted, muddy, wounded, but standing. Ethan knelt beside him and spoke softly. "You did everything, buddy. She's going to survive." Hours later, the hospital doors opened. Lena lay on the bed, bandaged and weak, but alive, out of danger. Atlas slowly approached, tail trembling. He rested his head beside her, and Lena weakly lifted her hand, brushing her fingers through his fur. They both survived. The forest may have tried to take her, but Atlas never left her. If this story touched your heart, leave a comment and say, "You did it, Atlas.